Hello, everyone. This is Howard Fox, and welcome back for another episode of the Outdoor Adventure Series, the podcast that celebrates individuals and families, businesses, and organizations that seek out and promote the exploration, stewardship, conservation, access, and enjoyment of the outdoors. Cody Johnston is our guest today. Cody is a software engineer and entrepreneur. He's a resident of Newfoundland, Canada, and he also hosts the Weird Canadian podcast. And I tell you, with a podcast name like that, how can I not want to interview Cody? And hey, man, it's a pleasure to have you join me this morning. How are you doing?
Good. How are you? Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure. My pleasure. And two things. One is I always like to have a nice background from the locations where I'm interviewing my guests. So I'll go up on Canvas where I get a lot of my imagery from. But I think your background is the winner today, because that is one heck of a background. Oh my God. You got corners going here.
Yeah.
Oh, we should have done this episode with you sitting out in those chairs out there.
It's a little bit chilly outside today.
Okay. A little chilly outside. It's going to be 108 degrees. So we're Fahrenheit here in Las Vegas. It's going to be a dry heat, but, I am excited. And for our listeners, I met Cody, via a website service via a podcast service, that we both use to, find guests, for our podcast. And I think Cody, as a podcaster, uses that service as well. It's called Podmatch, and we'll provide links back in our show notes. But really, Cody reached out and said, hey, I'm this crazy Canadian guy. I live in this beautiful spot in Newfoundland. And I thought, well, I've never been there, so I can learn about Newfoundland virtually. So first off, how long have you been in Newfoundland?
Now, I think it's been about a year and a half. I was a resident of Ontario for my entire life,
Okay.
until me and my partner just decided to pick up and leave. And yeah, we don't even think about going back.
That's amazing. Now, what I love about what you just shared, because it tells me you can pretty much do whatever you do anywhere you want to do it, which I love.
Yeah.
I love that idea. How did you choose Newfoundland? Had you read the book, saw the Chamber of Commerce, the Visitor Bureau? What led you there?
So the main reason we left was the polarity, Ontario just becoming not what we think Canada represents. Like, it's become a very Americanized version where it's political hate everywhere and too much of everything.
Too much. Yeah.
Yeah. And we decided to move, but I didn't want to go out east or out west, out to
If
Vancouver.
you go out east, by the way, you're going to be in the water. Okay. At least I know that. Okay.
Well, from Ontario, but we didn't want to go west. So
Okay.
we decided east. And yeah, we just took a trip, flew into Gander, took a week trip to just kind of look around. We brought a real estate agent around and fell in love with this house. And we're like, yep, this is it. This is our life.
Okay. Okay. Now, are you renting? Did you buy? Cause that is one heck of a view, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah. So the nice part about living out here is, especially in the tech sector, we make decent money. Well, I make decent money and my partner makes decent money. I actually had a house in Ontario that I got to sell for a lot of money.
Sure.
So we did have process moving over here, but I got this view. We got this view for the same price I paid in Ontario 2 years ago, 5 years ago. And we've got $1 million view here.
Is $1 million view.
Yeah. So we're so happy that we're blessed that we can live above our means here.
Okay. I love it. And definitely want to get further into the story. And also want to add a little more context. You are in Newfoundland, which is Labrador and Newfoundland, the province of Canada up in the Northeast. What town are you in? Because I want to go to a map in a second. We'll share our spec. I might just share the screen right now. What the heck?
It's a little place called Lewisport. It has the biggest marina on the island, as well as the biggest hunting and fishing store on the island.
Okay, the biggest one. Okay, so here's Newfoundland, and so you are down, I
Uh,
guess. Oh, let me pop in a little closer.
so I'm up on the main territory.
Okay, up here.
Yep. It's
Oh, Lewisport. I see it. I see it.
in between Gander and Grand Falls.
Okay, very good. So here's Lewisport. Has to be the outdoor adventure seeker's paradise between land and water. There's lakes. I'm curious, have you been an outdoor adventurer? I mean, do you like the outdoors? Are you more an indoors kind of person? What do you do? I mean, I would imagine you can't help but be healthy
Yep.
here in Newfoundland. So, what's your what is your preference when you're outdoors with your partner?
We just like to travel on the ATV, the side by side. In the wintertime, we get the ski-doo. The island is beautiful. It has trails all across it. You're
Okay.
able to do off-roading 80% of the entire province.
Okay.
You don't even need a car. You could literally take an off-road vehicle and just drive the island.
Oh wow! And so this is, I mean, it looks complicated to get around, but it also it seems like you can get around this piece of land pretty easily. I mean, just okay. It looks like you've got a national park here as well. So you've got the national park, a lot of great wildlife.
And we do
Okay.
have the Trans-Canadian Highway as well. So essentially, if you were to go
Okay.
from one side of the island to the other, it would only take you about 8 to 12 hours.
8 to 12 hours. What really?
Yeah.
Okay. Do they allow Americans to emigrate to Newfoundland? I'm curious about that because I might
Yeah.
just have to get rid of everything here and move. This looks
There,
gorgeous.
we're trying to build up the population here. There's a lot of resources and not a lot of people.
Okay.
There's plenty of opportunities out here for any individual to make their dreams come true out here, as far as I'm concerned.
I love it. And there's also a historic site. I can't even pronounce this because I don't speak French. Lawrence Ooh Meadows National Historic Site. Very cool. Now, while we're here, I guess I need to do this. This is the Newfoundland and Labrador website. So I guess it would be the equivalent of a kind of a destination marketing organization. Because I know there's probably a chamber of commerce, but they've got a welcome desk. This is kind of like your desk in a way where you're sitting right now, except she's outside. But I
Yep.
don't think you can beat that view. There's destinations here. So there's a lot of we're talking mountains too in your backyard, I think.
Yep. We've got mountains. So the one other thing I want to bring up is we have a ski hill for sale if anybody's interested. The
Ski,
government
okay.
is selling Marble Mountain Ski Hill, and the reason they're selling it is because it's not profitable, but they only run
Okay.
it in the winter.
Yeah.
So of course it's not profitable.
What's interesting, in where I live in Las Vegas, and many people don't know, there is actually a ski hill or mountain here in Las Vegas. It's called Mount Charleston. And in the summer, besides the hiking trails in and around the mountain, there's mountain biking and there's also like a disc golf course up there. So you have to, you do, what you're saying is basically they've got to be creative to make it a 365-day experience.
Yep. And on top of that, the community supports whatever happens to the thing. There's a whole community built around this resort already. So
Okay.
essentially you're just tapping into already existing resources. It's
Okay.
kind of crazy that they're selling it.
Well, maybe that's your next business venture. So,
Or maybe it is.
all right. Well, very cool. We'll provide backlinks to the Newfoundland and Labrador website. And now we know where you live. So let's stop sharing. So I appreciate you being open to that last little tangent there. Let me stop sharing. If I
I'm
get my
happy
tech.
for anybody to move here. It is beautiful.
Excellent. So when you visited Newfoundland, what criteria did you have for wanting to make this your new home as opposed to going anywhere else? What were the criteria?
We wanted to be outdoorsy, so we're still not exactly where we want to be. We eventually want to build our own home, but
Okay.
we want to be kind of middle of nowhere, relax, not have a whole lot of neighbors or sounds because we like our quiet time. She wanted the water and I wanted the forest. So we had to have both. And we just wanted a little bit more space for our animals as well. So just a little bit bigger.
Okay.
We went from a 1,600 square foot house to, I think we have like 3,200 square feet
Oh, wow.
now. Yeah.
So each animal gets to have its own private room. What kind of animals, by the way?
So we currently have 3 cats and a dog.
Okay. Is the dog a Labrador?
No, she's a Rhodesian Ridgeback, actually.
Okay. Yeah, I just kind of felt if you're in Labrador, you have to have or Newfoundland, you have to have a Labrador. But okay, I
She
digress.
came with like,
Okay, no problem. No problem at all. So tell me a little bit more about the type of work that you do, because I know it's a little, there's techie, but and entrepreneurial, but tell us a little bit more about that.
yeah. So I started my journey of just kind of like moving here and kind of realizing who I wanted to be. So I actually left my high paying job as a software engineer for a fintech company
Okay.
to start my business, which is like trying to boil it down so that it's easy to digest. I'm still working on brand narratives, but
Okay.
um, essentially what I do is I go into small businesses, startups, nonprofits,
Okay.
and build them the custom software they need. The biggest problem with software nowadays is we build these monolithic applications and they don't fit for every company. So what I'm doing is I'll go in, assess what problem you're having, build you a completely custom tech solution that addresses that problem
Right.
for next to nothing in cost as you would for these giant sophisticated enterprise softwares.
Right. It's almost like we've gone full circle because we used to build these custom applications and DOS and I'm not a programmer, but I just know those tech terms, C plus, SQL, blah, blah, blah. And they got so complex and they were so everybody's needs. So if you're working with the Newfoundland government or the Lewisport government, everybody's need is so unique. And if I had a dollar, Canadian or US dollar for every time somebody says, that's nice, but we're, what we need is something special. It was an arm and a leg. I mean, that's what you literally had to give. And so it has software development and the tools used to build these custom applications to meet the needs. Is it gotten that much easier?
Yeah. So I'll just explain my process right now. It's gotten
Sure.
this easy. So I'm coming from a government background and a fintech development background. So like
Sure.
I've been developing since I was 16.
You're a geek.
Essentially what I
You're a
do,
geek.
I'm a very big geek. Essentially what I do is I talk to the person about what they need. Then I take that transcription, I throw it into AI and I say, pull out the requirements I need for this application.
Right.
So it diagnoses or like dissects our chat, figures out what's the smallest application I can build with the requirements they're requesting,
Right.
and gives me that document that I go and put into an AI that will then go and build the website or the app or the solution, and then just have me hook in all of the user's credentials to set it up. And then from
Uh,
there, it's just me iterating on what we have.
I
So
love
we
that.
go from a process that could normally take 2 to 5 years to a process that will now take me like 90 days tops.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now, being that you are in Newfoundland in this wonderful nature bound area, who will be, you talked about the local government, nonprofits. Uh, how could you help say, let's say the ski hill, okay, it's up for sale. And maybe somebody says, we really should have created a business around 365 days a year type opportunity. How would you have helped them craft that opportunity rather than making that choice to just sell the business?
So the first things that I would have done was do market analysis on how other ski resorts operate during the non-season, because you want to really like look at what's already available. Other excursions like zip lining, those types of things. AI would give me a summary of best practices, who's using what's succeeding, and give me all of the metrics to go with that as well. And
Mhm.
then from there, it's just kind of going out and testing it. So saying, throwing up a web page that says, hey, if we did this, this, and this, would you be more like welcome to come? You don't have to build anything. Like all we're doing is testing the market. So send it out to 10,000 people and say, hey, if Marble Mountain was to do this, this, and this, what would you be your thoughts? So it's just we have the ability to gain the quick metrics to support the rapid development of whatever we need to develop, as
Okay.
opposed to whatever we want to develop. So the one thing programming has taught me, the programmer is always wrong. The client is always right. You're
Yeah.
building for them, not you.
Right. Yeah. That's a hard lesson, is the client is always right. So since you have been in Lewisport, you sounds like there's a lot of opportunity. Is there opportunity inside the community in Newfoundland, and what has been it? They've been around for a little while. I mean, this is whenever it was first settled. I mean, it's probably in the history books, but how intransient are, say, the residents, the business owners about, well, this is the way we've always done it. We've got a paper file system and little, what do you call those things when we used to put our mail in these boxes? Pigeonholes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Uh, How are people responding to this little bit of technology that can make their lives better and more efficient, especially that small business owner who's got the outfitter or runs a trail fishing excursions or boating excursions. How are they responding to those kinds of opportunities?
It is a hard sell if you don't know it's a hard sell for most people. I
Mhm,
don't think it's a hard sell for me because the first thing I ask is, what would make your life better?
mhm,
Like it doesn't have to be a tech solution. Just what, if you had a magic wand, what could I do to
mhm,
simplify your day, to just take out something that you don't want to do, and I can do that. Those minute progresses just showcase to the client that like, hey, like this was something helpful. So
mhm,
start small, do a helpful thing, and then you expand and say, hey, I can do more.
mhm.
This is what it will cost, that kind of thing. And the biggest thing I've been having a problem around is we have an aging population, very elderly population
Oh,
here.
sure.
They just got used to email and
Mhm,
Facebook, and they're opposed to websites and like all of the new tech we've built, like phones, everything. AI is strange to them. I've
mm,
been framing AI in a interface that allows you to interact with whatever you currently have.
mhm,
So they're used to email. So why
mhm,
can't we build them an app that they just talk into and sends an email?
mhm.
Or so bridging the human with the now is
Okay,
essentially allowing your devices to be the human and translate to the tech or
okay.
the user instead. It's been coming. If you can showcase how it helps and how easy it is to do things, people jump on board because they realize, oh, I can do that. And not only can it just send an email, you can send it to your website or your blog post or update your socials. These are things that regular users don't have to do manually, but these are all
Mhm.
things you can just talk into your phone now and do.
I love that, and I mean, my partner and I are always looking for ways to help our customers. We produced here in Las Vegas. There's this little town just just west of us. It's called Boulder City, which is where the Hoover Dam is.
Yep.
And so we produced the Best Dam podcast for the Chamber of Commerce, and always looking for some little thing we can do to make their lives easier, but get the word out that, hey, when you fly into Las Vegas, you need to go check out Boulder City. Okay. And I love those little pieces of technology. And I love what you just said. When a customer says, oh, you can do this, it's like, well, yeah, we can. And it's a whole new ball game. So when you and your partner are out and about and you're not working, you're not on the ATVs, what are some of the excursions you're going to go on just to kind of explore this new home of yours?
Yeah. So we just actually came back, but we had my partner's parents paid for a little bit. We ended up going out to Twillingate.
Twilling
just
Gate.
off the, yeah, so it's just off the peninsula from us.
Hmm.
And we went into adventure tours, Twilling Gate adventure tours. We got to go on a boat to go out and see all the icebergs and got up and close and personal with the icebergs there.
Oh,
It was absolutely amazing. On top of that, we have whitewater rapids, which I'm excited to go do,
okay.
zip lining, um, you name it. We basically have an outdoor adventure. Every year we have, I believe we have a sports or a cross off-road cross province race. I
Okay.
don't remember what it's called, but I do remember we do have a race that happens every year here on with off-road vehicles. And just
Okay.
like the general communities, music is very big here. Small communities come together, local bands, very music heritage.
Okay.
I struggle to find things that I can't do when it comes to outside. The biggest things I've noticed is when I was in Ontario, we had a company that was just took you out and taught you how to ride a dirt bike or an ATV or these things.
Hmm.
I've never seen anything like that. I think that would be a cool concept around here, but
Hmm. Well, there's that age thing for me is I've like I've never well, I know I've been ziplining like once, but I think it'd be kind of cool to be on an ATV or to I being in a kayak. I mean, I have been in a kayak. I also got dumped on in a kayak. So, but I mean, just there's a lot of these activities that I have to believe they're there. Just to have to do a little bit more searching for, but I just think that's just like a wonderful view. I mean, I have my cup of coffee. You and I were chatting beforehand. It's like you don't have a cup of coffee before you do your podcast, but I'm a morning person. I love the quiet of the morning when it's just the sun's just coming up, and even if it's gray, just the idea of sitting outside and enjoying nature is this is a wonderful thing to do, and it's great. As great as Ontario is, whether it's Toronto, other towns, it's nice to be around nature and that slower pace. So I truly appreciate that. What what is your perception though of say climate change or conservation in this beautiful area that you're in? Are people aware of it? Do they talk about it? What are they
it's
saying?
it's heavily promoted here. All our channels make sure we know and understand what we're doing for our environment here.
Mhm,
I'm actually very impressed because this is kind of stuff that I was phased out in Ontario a long time ago. These
mm,
campaign ads that were just like, "Hey, this is what we do." So I actually found out here we recycle our old tires and turn
mhm,
those into our pavements out here. So we do a lot of conservations. There's plenty of national parks on our island as well. So
mhm,
those are conservationally protected. We also have, they border off spots that are no foresting and no hunting. We have a big hunting industry out here too, because uh, we're on
yeah,
an island and yeah, they do lotteries for the big game to make sure the population's in order. And yeah, like they give the messaging as well. It's not just that they do it, they tell people they do it. And I think that's one thing that a lot of Canadians don't see anymore is, hey, this is what we're doing.
mhm. No, I love it. I love it. Now, when you're out there and trying to drum up business, talking to potential customers, how are you able to? I mean, you're this young, you and your partner are these old young whippersnappers. Um, what's it been like to kind of bridge that age gap or that knowledge gap with them? I mean, you kind of shared a little bit about it. Just what problem can I help? What's your biggest problem that you want to solve?
I have never been more welcomed by a community in my entire life.
Hmm.
So I'll give you a bit of context before I answer that question. When we showed up here, the first thing that happened was our neighbor was at our door asking how he can help, telling us everything about the town. And not only that, when we started going out to the town and talking to the residents, it was the same thing. Everybody just wants to have a conversation. Everybody wants to get to know you. Everybody's interested in what you're doing and interested in just conversing with you. And then I grew up a lot around my grandparents,
Mm-hmm.
learned the old style of like, this is how things are done. This is how you respect people, P's and Q's, the whole nine yards. So I have a decent background in understanding the old and the new.
Mhm.
And I just bridge that gap by just being human and saying, like, I understand, like, everything isn't perfect, but how can I help with just a little tiny bit? Even the apps I'm building for people, it's like I'm not solving complex problems. I'm solving minor problems. Like, you literally need a button to talk into, and it sends an email. Like, it's not rocket science. It's just explaining it in a way that helps them, to showcase that it helps them.
Okay. I love it. Something you said I think is going to be a good segue for another question I wanted to talk about is you are the host of your own podcast, the Weird Canadian Podcast. One of the facets of the outdoor adventure series is I like to go out into the location and have interviews with my guests. And I'm it seems to me you have an opportunity there in Newfoundland is to have a segment of the Weird Canadian Podcast and go talk to the residents and hear their stories.
It is a plan. Right now, building the brand, I'm still working on getting reoccurring revenue.
Right.
And my office has to change to be able to set up a few things. I have so many ideas. We're gonna get there. It's just a matter of like timing right now. Like, I keep on talking. I do have a team that helps me edit and do my things, and I just keep on saying, like, it's even there. It resonates with them. It's coming. It's just a matter
Right.
of when, not if.
That's the life of an entrepreneur is it's not it's when, not if. So when did you begin the Weird Canadian Podcast?
I started it about 4 months ago.
Oh, that is new.
Yes. I actually
Okay.
have quite a big following for 4 months ago, which I is what really launched me and being like, okay, I can do this.
Mm,
But my one of my dogs passed away, and my
okay.
partner realized that it was really taking a toll on me and let me take the opportunity to try this. And from there, it's been figuring out what I'm doing, figuring out who I am, figuring out my branding, figuring out what I want to do. But those initial videos, those initial podcasts gave me the confidence to know I'm doing the right thing, to know I'm building my best life, building my passion, and
Mhm.
I get to build my passion by helping others. It's absolutely amazing. I can't feel. I don't know how I've never felt this happy. Like, I don't know how I've just come to this
Okay.
realization being 34 years old that this is how
Right.
you do it. You help people, and
You help people, you make a difference, and then you get to pinch yourself and go, it's really happening. I mean, I
yeah,
look at that sometimes, and a question that I often ask when I'm on the podcast, one of them is like the aha, I call it the aha moment. And so I ask my guests, what has been your aha moment when you realized this is the right thing to do?
pod match. Honestly, getting on the pod match and just having the guests, talking to everybody, talking to you, talking to all of my guests, anybody who would have me on their show. Every time I get to talk to one of you, you guys encourage me. You
Mhm.
guys keep me going because it's like, hey, you're doing amazing. Like, this is an awesome idea. You build me up, and it's like humbling. And on top of that, like Alex of Podmatch, the CEO,
Sure.
he reached out early on and just said, "I like what you're doing. Keep it going." And that was like, "Oh, maybe I have something here." That was
There you
my
go.
maybe I have something here moment.
There you go. There you go. Alex is a good guy. We've met virtually, but never in person. I would love to go to their, I think it's Podcast Movement, their podcast conference, and it's it takes a lot to get from Las Vegas to Ontario where he's at, but I
Yeah.
definitely would love to see that someday. Hopefully, you're able to visit as well. If in our conversation today, two things or three things are very apparent. One, you took a risk. You had a partner that said, "Yep, let's take a risk." You are acclimating yourself to a new environment, this beautiful island of Newfoundland, and you are building the business. And it's kind of like the in hockey parlance, that's the hat like a hat trick. By the way, are you a sports fan? Just curious.
Not particularly. That's kind of
Uh,
why I'm a weird Canadian, is because I've always grown up not really being connected to hockey or sport.
oh, you're like an odd man out there.
Oh
Okay.
yes.
So I haven't been on skates since I was preteen because the last time I think I ended up in the hospital. But what for somebody maybe that's reached the point in their career, their life is like, I just don't want to do this anymore. I need something else. I mean, you've kind of been living that. And what advice would you give to them? Is it just be
So
introspective, go inside, spend in nature? What would you do? What would you
I,
advise?
I think my advice would be figure out what you're best at. Just boil it down to what you are good at and what you like. And then if you're in a place where you can risk this, like I'm not saying like quit your job because that was dumb of me. I should have built up a nice sum before I did this, but take that risk and bet on yourself. You'd be surprised at how many people are willing to help you
Mhm,
if you just ask. The One of the biggest surprises out of all this is if you just message a shit ton of people,
mhm.
a bunch of them are going to message you back.
Yes.
So
Okay.
just reach out to people and ask for help, ask for guidance. They'll give it to you free of charge. Like I haven't paid for guidance yet.
I love it. I love it. I I I appreciate the insights both on the aha and also in the insight to go, which is what we call the last segment. But I before we head out today, and I want to get your social sites to share with our listeners, something very important, near and dear to my heart. It's food and beverage. Now, I'm not a drinker, alcohol. I mean, I like a glass of wine every once in a while. I love a good cup of coffee, some good food. W- What are some go-to places you and your partner are going to kind of enjoy the downtown, kind of enjoy just the community? What are your go-tos and why?
Well, in Lewisport itself, I go to Kinden's Cafe and Bakery. They
Mhm.
make amazing coffee and food. They are amazing food. They also have treats they make daily, so they're a bakery as well, and they serve liquors. Um, Basically everywhere here serves liquor. And then in terms of like seafood,
Mhm.
just over across the water, there's a place called Kinden Treats Treats from the Sea, and they have the freshest seafood that you could ever have. And they have a food truck there called Chelsea's Food Truck as well that gives out their food, and it is some of the best crab, some of the best lobster. Like they know what they're doing.
Oh,
Uh,
You're you're making my heart
and
pound. Oh, boy.
in terms of alcohol, we have a lot of local alcohol here. Some of the great beer are Vindi, I believe. They're out in St. John's.
Okay.
And there's an iceberg lager that I like out here. It's called Iceberg.
Okay. Okay.
Beautiful, made with iceberg ice.
Oh,
And they also have, I found this amazing. They make a vodka called Fog Vodka, and
okay.
they take the dew from off the water, and they use
Okay, yeah.
that water to mix the vodka.
Oh, wow. I have got to get up there for a visit. I will let you know when I'm, gonna
Uh,
make it up there. That's I mean, it's food is, again, a very important part of my life. I have to watch what I eat. You're still a young, kid, so, once you hit 40, then you have to really start watching this stuff, but I appreciate you sharing that, and it's like, that's part of what makes these towns special, is you kinda enjoy a good meal, you meet people, you have conversations, you learn about that outdoor adventure that, "Oh, I didn't know that," and the next thing you know, you're off on an adventure, but, now I do have to ask, though, behind your shoulder, there's like a red and a blue something, are those chairs, or is that
yeah.
what is that?
So they're Adirondack chairs. I was doing mowing yesterday, and I just put them in the fire pit to stack them out of the way.
Okay, because I tell you, I wanna be sitting there. I really do. I want a nice cup of coffee, and I wanna sit there and just kind of watch. So, I'm gonna be giving you and your partner a call. Cody, it's been a pleasure to have you on the podcast and hearing a little bit about your journey, and I appreciate you introducing us to Newfoundland. This is, I've done a couple episodes from the Canadian perspective, mostly in the British Columbia area, and but I've always wanted to head out to the Northeast in Canada, and now you've made me like, okay, I have to go visit Newfoundland. I think this would be a cool place. So, thank you for introducing yourself, telling us a little bit, or sharing with us a little bit about your work, and also introducing us to this wonderful destination, which I am going to be heading out to the welcome website for Newfoundland and saying, "Hey, I just interviewed this guy on the podcast, and I'd love to chat with you guys some further about what's out here." So I'll help make that connection for you.
That's great because they are always welcoming more tourists and support. And if I'm not mistaken, just as a tidbit, I don't know if it's true or not, but we just got a whole lot of tourism budget. The
Okay.
province did. So there's a
Oh,
lot to tap
nice.
into.
Nice. I love it. Now, before we do head out, if you would like our listeners to find you on your web or social sites, where right now, I know there's updates coming, but where are the best places to learn more about you and your work?
The best place to learn about me is through my YouTube page at The Weird Canadian, or on my website at The Weird Canadian, or website, theweirdcanadian.ca,
Okay.
or any of the socials. If you look up Weird Canadian, I'm probably the first or second result.
I have to say that you've got a brand name that is definitely going to be sticking, and I love that. It's kind of like with Boulder City, the best damn podcast, and
Yep.
it's you cannot help but remember that Outdoor Adventure Series. It's nice, but there's a couple other variations out there. But Cody, it's so glad we met on Podmatch, and really wish you nothing but the best. You and your partner, nothing but the best. And I do hope I get out there because I'd love to check out the towns and the experiences that are available. And really appreciate you sharing that with us today.
Not a problem. Thank you very much for having me. Yeah.
All right. Cheers. All right. Let's stay in the line. We're going to do a quick close and you and I can have a final chat. Okay.
Perfect.
All right, folks. We've just been chatting with Cody Johnston. He is a software engineer, an entrepreneur, a podcaster, and a resident of Lewiston and Newfoundland, Canada. And just checking out and preparing for this episode, it's like, I need to go visit this area. And I love Canada. I grew up right across the border from Canada, and it's huge country and so many beautiful places. And yeah, I really appreciate Cody taking the time to share with us about his and his partner's new home. And by the way, he's up there with the top three guest locations during my interviews. Definitely Boulder City has a wonderful view. Jill has great view out of her office of Lake Mead. The director or the superintendent of the Florida Keys National Park, I wish I could remember her name. My apologies. But she works in a fishbowl. And now here's Cody with this wonderful background right outside of his office. So I'm telling you, I'm a little envious because all I get are the Zoom backgrounds, but it's a pretty nice Zoom background. But listen, I hope you enjoyed the episode. We're going to provide all the links to Cody's web and social sites that he shared with us. We'll also provide links to some of the attractions and including the food attractions that he shared. We'll have those up on our show notes. And of course, you can find our episode on our website, outdooradventureseries.com. We're also on LinkedIn and Facebook. The video of this episode will be up on our YouTube channel. And of course, you can listen to this episode wherever you get your podcast from. And remember, we love likes, comments, and please share the episode with your friends and family if you think they will get some value out of this or just entertainment out of this. So that's what we hope for. All right, folks, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, go out there, have a phenomenal day. And we look forward to having you join us on a future episode of the Outdoor Adventure Series podcast. Take care.